You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's Tony Basilio. I'm proud to be with you. Fired up, focused, and prepared. Couldn't be any better. Hope you're enjoying yourself. It's a great day to be alive and well. Bino, Jeff, are you ready to reel, rock, and roll till the break of dawn, my good friend? Shout out to Bino Heffy. Bino Heffy, are you ready to reel, rock, roll till the break of dawn? Bino Heffy.
Bino, unmute yourself.
Tony, I'm
unmute
ready.
Yourself, Bino.
I'm ready, Tony. Maybe not till the break
We're off
of
to
dawn.
a rip-roaring start. We're off to a rip-roaring start.
We've already checked one of the boxes for Byron's game there.
Yeah, Byron's a real clown.
Because I've muted myself.
You've muted.
So you've already got one check going.
So as long as we're doing comedy, let's talk about the Chaz Coleman situation, because it's dark comedy, but it's comedy. So we have a saying around here, and the saying is, "That's so Tennessee." That's so Tennessee. That's so Tennessee. And you and I were talking earlier in the week that as long as we didn't see a conclusion to this, the door was open for a guy like Heupel to bring this guy back, which is by the way, it's a fair statement on Josh Heupel so far in his tenure and any football coach, because you're going to be tempted. Whether a guy shows up and doesn't practice, you could always say, well, he was hurt and, he has these concussions, and it's cleared up now and he's going to play. But this thing here is, how do I explain what we're about to talk about? First of all, you go back to the beginning. So Chaz Coleman's no longer a member of the team. But if you go back to the beginning, Chaz Coleman was the belle of the ball. Bino, back in the winter, we were so excited when they got him. He's a superstar caliber, game-breaking caliber, rush end. The term they use is Leo. They threw back because everybody has a budget. There's a thought that you just spend, and the billionaires are just going to keep spending. At Tennessee, they've got a healthy $36, $37, $38 million payroll, whatever the number is, but it's pretty good. Bino, you know how excited we were when they got the number one rush end? One of the Penn State four, along with the four coaches that came from Knowles' staff, just a complete overhaul of the defense. But lost in that was that they threw back, and to the living listeners, stay with me here. Stay with me here, because I'm going to tell you some stuff about this that's going to blow your mind. Just kind of hang in here with me. We're going to get a little long-winded. Bino, you remember how hopeful and excited we were as they were putting the defense together sort of on the fly, and the thought of this Coleman guy was just so exciting. I mean, Bino, the guy thought the ceiling was so high for him that they literally let Jordan Ross go to LSU, who's projected this year to be a draft pick in the late 20s in the first round. But you can't keep everybody. When you're making these big money deals, you can't keep everybody, and they put all their eggs in the basket of Chaz Coleman. And then they also let Caleb Herring go who's a pretty good SEC level defensive end. Do you remember, Bino, how excited we were? We were really pumped when this thing was coming together.
Oh, absolutely, Tony. Everyone was pumped. And, you know, we had Ken Miller on, who follows the program closely. And he gave his stamp of approval to the moves too, as far as who Tennessee got, who he would have liked to have kept at Penn State.
Ken Miller, a lifelong Penn State fan, goes to games, lives in the Crossville area. Absolutely, and is a huge Tennessee basketball fan, but he just has this quirk about himself where he loves Penn State football, and he always did. And so I brought him in because he's intimately familiar with the program, all those players, and, you know, we were walking him down, this guy, that guy, this is who I'd get, blah, 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 blah. And then he was unpacking each coach for us, understood and knew in terms of each coach. Well, news comes out today that Chaz Coleman has been medically disqualified from Tennessee's roster. Now, what does the term medically disqualified mean? Because you never hear that term. We used to say that guys had a medical red shirt or a medical, they were put on like a medical university-only scholarship. But this medically disqualified thing, this is new, the language. Essentially what this means is, we were talking about this behind the scenes leading up to this. And again, I didn't close the door because I don't trust Josh Heupel till it's done. I mean, we've seen him just kind of let guys walk on him. But in this case, there really was no alternative. So for the last little piece, Tennessee has been, and Heupel referenced this when he was talking about how, hey, we support Chaz, but he's away from the team. I guess that would have been back at the meetings in Destin. Essentially, Tennessee got Coleman's people to sign a medical disqualification form. Now, how'd they do that? How did they do that? You have to understand something about Chaz Coleman. There's a misnomer out there, misbelief, maybe, and rightfully so. There's a belief that these kids are, when they sign these deals, and I think Coleman's was like $1.8 million a year, something like that, and then thought that he was going to be here at least 2 years, so it'd be about $3 million, little over $3 million. It's going to be a pretty good chunk of change out in the real world. Chaz Coleman, Tennessee paid him a pittance on the front end of that. These schools are learning now. We're going to break your payments up. We're not going to give you FU money on the front end, which is another term we use in the real world. We're not giving you that money until you come out here and you play and you perform. And that's how they're doing it now. Of course, they won't say that they're paying these kids to perform because these are quote unquote marketing contracts, which is my favorite thing of the whole deal. But so Tennessee gets Coleman's people, and they kind of keep going back and forth, and they paid him something to go away. Now, I don't know what they paid him, but I believe they paid him some money to go away. I don't think there's any question about that. Why else would he sign it? Because without that form, Coleman's people could always come back and say, hey, you're cutting our guy loose and he has concussion issues. Not a good look. Now you can put out that he's been medically disqualified from the Vols roster. That's the way they're phrasing this. Now, I'm not inside this kid's body. You're not inside this kid's body. I'm not inside this kid's mind. Nobody is. But here's the thing. Many of us, some of you are saying, okay, Bino, are you sitting down for this? I hope you're sitting down for this.
I am, Tony.
Yeah, good. Brian, are you sitting? Brian, I need you to sit down too. What I'm about to tell you, what Chaz Coleman's people are saying his next step is. First of all, we were saying this back in the winter, and I was saying it would not surprise me, I said several weeks ago, as we started to unpack this. And people were jumping on us for our real-time reporting about this, but it's going to prove to be pretty accurate here. First of all, this guy's a pretty odd kid. Okay? He's just a little different. And he doesn't really like football. And he didn't feel like working out. And he wasn't going for that new strength and conditioning coach. Now, I didn't realize the level of this till just kind of digging into this morning. And I love when you go away and you're around family and you're kind of on vacation and this happens, Bino, and you got to kind of get on the phone and start digging. It's kind of fun. You know what I mean? It sort of never ends.
It does not, Tony.
It never ends. Bino, I was told today, don't be surprised if you see Chaz Coleman look to break into the hip-hop space. We signed and enriched a guy who is the number 2 player in the portal, who is an aspiring rapper. He's putting it on wax, Bino, as they said back in the trade. And I would like your thoughts on that. An aspiring rapper, Bino.
Well, Tony, I guess the portal gives and the portal takes away. You know, I've been one that said that Tennessee needs to play more strongly in the portal. Still believe that. But when you play in the portal, you get kids you do not know. Unless you've recruited them prior, you get kids you do not know. And obviously, this is a surprise to everyone involved. Because as I've said before, there's no way in the world that those 4 coaches, or however many we got from Penn State, would have backed this kid and backed Tennessee's efforts to sign this kid if they thought there was any way in the world that any of this was going to happen.
So if
they didn't know, who was going to know?
That's correct. Josh Heupel, this is not his fault. I'm 1,000% of the mindset that you've got to win in the portal. Now, it is the most Tennessee thing in the world that they acquired a guy who's the belle of the ball, who literally wants to lay it down. C to the H to the A to the Z. Chaz Coleman, yo, that's me.
Maybe him and Andy can have a wrap-off.
I mean, exactly, Brian. Maybe he can be in Andy's corner tomorrow
night. And maybe
night.
Florida can also join in and participate.
What a missed opportunity we had here. If he would have come here, he and Andy, listen, it goes back to this, though, Tony. It goes back to this. It goes back to production over potential. We're more involved in the portal, but several of these guys are still potential guys. He's a potential guy, not a production guy. He had 8 tackles last year.
Yep. Cincinnati or Circuit City Fusion said it's all on Heupel, all of it. No, it's not. People are arguing with me on YouTube. Look, Josh Heupel can't see into the future. Josh Heupel couldn't see that. This is not his fault. None of this is his fault. He brought in, if he would have had last year's strength and conditioning coach, this kid probably still on the team. This guy was going to force him to work and build his body so that he didn't look like some minute bowl beanpole, which is what he looks like. The kid they showed, the kid that made that video up there with the money in his hand, put the thing out on his socials. That kid wasn't ready to play football. That kid could play high school football. Looking at him, how the hell are you gonna play in the SEC looking like that? Football's not for everybody. Football's a brutal sport, and I can see how you wouldn't like it. And now he got a small percentage of what was coming his way because he just wasn't going to do it. And who knows? Maybe the concussion was real severe. I don't know. None of us are in the guy's body, but I'm telling you this. He's looking at a career. And Bino, you can say what you want to say, but you thought I'd say a million things. LSU, Ohio State is next move. Nope. Going to lay it down with some sick beats, Bino. Some sick beats. C to the H to the A to the Z. Rocking out with Tony B. C to the H to the A to the Z. On the other side, Mike Huguenin. Take a brief time out. More after this. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Nothing reminds you of how much you rely on your air conditioner like the first really hot day in East Tennessee. Schedule Pipe Wrench Home Services' $79 seasonal tune-up now before the heat sets in. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune your HVAC system to help it run efficiently and reliably while reducing the risk of breakdowns when you need it most. And while we're there, we can also recommend ways to improve your indoor air quality for cleaner, healthier air throughout your home. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when comfort matters most. Schedule your $79 seasonal tune-up today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer valid on standard systems only. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside. So get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
With Gary Sturm. He's with Mortgage Investors Group, making our community a better place every day. Gary, you've been at it 32 years, man.
Yes, Tony, I've been at Mortgage Investors Group for 32 years. We've known each other since, back in the 80s, right?
And we've gotten to know each other recently as our family has gotten involved with another mortgage. Through that whole process, you were a prince, just like Jeker. When he called you at 3 o'clock in the morning after a Tennessee loss, you've been giving your phone number out for a couple decades. And why is that, Gary?
This is the biggest financial decision you're ever going to make. You don't want to trust somebody online, some 800 number. You want to call somebody like myself that's going to give you my number, and you can call me anytime. I'm there to help you. I'm there to help you and your family, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your trust in me. You can call me anytime. You can be like Jeker and call me at 2 a.m. and complain about the balls just like he did. I'd rather you call me about a mortgage, but that's okay. If you want to cry about the balls, we can do that too. I'm a ball at heart. You know that. And if you want to come in and meet with me face-to-face, I'm here. If you want to do it online, I'm here. That's fine. If you're curious if you can qualify to buy a house, people know the housing market's tough. That's what I'm here for. There's no obligation. You can call me anytime. I get you pre-qualified. Or maybe you've got a mortgage, you're thinking about refinancing. Maybe you want to shorten the term. Maybe you want to go to a 15-year. Who knows? But again, that's what I'm here for. It's what I've been here for 32 years. My number is 865-660-2648. It's 865-660-2648.
Gary Sturm at Mortgage Investors Group, going to take great care of you. Shout out to my man, Gary Sturm, part of the Nation of Domination. I'm going to say to you right now, that the great Mike Huguenin is getting ready to join us. The breaking news today is that Tennessee and Chaz Coleman are no more. Coleman, a guy that Hughie was on here celebrating that Tennessee got back in the winter. He was one of the top players in the portal. Tennessee let Jordan Ross go. They let Caleb Herring go. Jordan Ross is now at LSU. He's thought to be maybe a first-round pick this year. But Tennessee was gambling on 2 years of a really high-level development player, a guy that the defensive coordinator knew, a guy that his position coach knew, a guy they vouched for. And we just reported a second ago, Hughie, that it's believed that Chaz Coleman's next pivot might be into the world of show business as a hip-hop artist. As I bring Mike Huguenin in, against the backdrop that only here can we sign a guy out of the portal, and he doesn't play a game, but he might put a record out before football season. Hughie, your thoughts on the breaking news?
Interesting to say the least. The first time I remember that happening was in the 90s. There was a running back at San Jose State decided I'm going to be a rapper instead. I think it's happened 3 or 4 other times. Kadarius Toney at Florida released some stuff while he was a player. But yeah, giving up football, giving up a lot of money to try to be a rapper, that's an interesting career move.
It's unbelievable, Andy. It's crazy. So you're telling me this rapper thing, this is not something new.
There's been a handful, but the first one I remember, I was at Sporting News in the mid-90s, and a running back at San Jose State gave up football. But Kadarius Toney did it, but he was still playing. I think there's been some other situations where a player was still playing and released some records, but dropped some tracks or whatever. But yeah, this is the running back at San Jose State was not a big name. This is different. This is like you said in your about a minute ago. I mean, they were counting on this guy to be their leading pass rusher. So, and if you're a team in the SEC's leading pass rusher, chances are you're a pretty high level NFL prospect. So he's given up a lot of money if he wants to give up football to try to be a rapper.
Bino, are you now that we've digested this from the first segment, how are you taking the news of this young man's perhaps burgeoning hip hop career, Bino? How's this grabbing you?
I'm trying to figure out what's more surprising, that we've lost a portal signee to rap, or that rap has survived for over 30 years, apparently, according to Mike Huguenin.
It's more like 40 years.
It's 50 years. Yeah, rap goes back to Kool Herc on the streets of NYCNY and Africa Bambaataa when they first had their beat parties. The beats. I want some sick beats. As Mike Huguenin.
It's not my fault
joining.
It's still here.
Hughie, in your humble opinion, when I say C to the H to the A to the Z, we're on Fridays with Mike Hughie. Are you do you know how silly I'm going to get? I drove 10 hours yesterday to get to Philly, and it turned into like a 12-hour trip because we ran into 3 car accidents. Almost had one ourselves. Bino, didn't a 18-wheeler run you off the road up in Indianapolis and total a car? Because that came very close to happening to us while we were live on the air yesterday. I was doing the show with the full gear that I have now. Laura was driving. This 18-wheeler, Hughie, we look up, and all of a sudden it cut into our lane to the point where we were under the thing, and she slammed on the brakes. He never even saw us, Hughie. Came very close to running us off the road at like 75 miles an hour. Did that happen to you, Bino, or am I imagining things?
No, absolutely. On the way back from a Colts game in Louisville, around Louisville, 18-wheeler ran us completely off the road into the median, broke the glass on Brocky's side of the car, cut him up a little bit. We were very fortunate. Very fortunate.
The guy never stopped, right?
No, he just went on.
Hughie, I put my finger out the window yesterday and told that guy a few things with my gestures while I was doing the show. It gets your adrenaline going, Hughie. Has that ever happened to you on the road?
Not to that extent, no. I've driving I-75 in Florida, there's so many trucks. But I can remember Nero Palo once, a 18-wheeler came, just like you said, he didn't even, I guess I was in his blind spot, so I ended up driving on the emergency lane for about 100 yards. And then he finally fell, and then he moved back over. So, but yeah, that kind of stuff is unfortunately, I think all of us have had those kind of situations, but not to the extent that you did.
It was scary, man. Myron. All right, Hughie, let's talk about it. So we got the Chaz Coleman thing. Tennessee's now going to be naked at defensive end, and there's really nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The living listener will be glad to know that they love this Norman kid. This Norman kid's gained a bunch of weight, who comes from Tulane. They were wanting those two guys to be sort of a 1-2 punch. Norman's put on 20 pounds. They think he's going to have a really nice season. The problem is going to be on the other side. Hughie, I want you to speak to this. Jim Knowles in the past has tweaked his defense. In fact, he was at odds at Ohio State with the head coach there who wanted to run this rugged, aggressive 4-3. And there were times where he used a 3-3-5 there and even some other alignments where he would walk up linebackers, and that would drive Brutus up there, their head coach, crazy. And those guys sort of got at odds with each other at times over it. A veteran coach like Jim Knowles, who has a plethora of linebackers and might be short at defensive end, he'll figure something out, right, Hughie?
Yeah, Knowles is highly paid for a reason. His defenses are what's the word I want here? They're complex, and they can be difficult for some players to grasp it. But he is, like you said, he's been around the block a long time. He's put together really good units at schools that you would not expect to have good defense. Like Oklahoma State was tremendous on defense, and Oklahoma State, where are they getting these guys? But that was all Knowles. So while his schemes can be complex, he does a nice job of adapting to what he has. I think that if this were, I don't want to disparage Tim Banks, but I think that Jim Knowles is better than Tim Banks. And I think Jim Knowles, he has some lead time. They'll come up with something. No, they're going to miss Chaz Coleman's ceiling, but I think the floor is going to be the same as it would have been with Coleman. Maybe they don't have a 8 or 9 sack guy, but I think Knowles can find ways to get a couple guys 3 and 4 sacks apiece that would not have done that if Coleman was there. So I think he will change things and adapt.
Yeah, you see, Bino, at Ohio State, he got sideways with Brutai because I've never seen a dude with a heavier beard than that guy. I mean, that guy could harvest some sandpaper that they could use, the coarsest stuff you could find at Lowe's, Beanstar. That you talk about a dude with a heavy beard now. But they were sideways with each other because Knowles liked to fool around with odd fronts, and I've got confidence in him. And I've got to think internally, too. He's got to feel terrible about this because he vouched for this kid. He vouched for him. Yeah,
he came from Penn State with Knowles. And I think there's, 2 other defensive coaches, or at least one that came from Penn State.
3 of them, yeah.
The due diligence had been done. But if you have a kid in college or a kid in high school, what they say and do 30 minutes, it can change. And obviously it is changed for Chaz Coleman. Maybe he doesn't have a true love of football or whatever. But I think, the fact that this didn't happen the first week of the season is actually a plus, because that you can scheme around players not being there. And now you got 2 months to plan before the first game.
C to the H to the A to the Z. Gufon Moving and Storage presents Hughie on a Friday, ladies and gentlemen. How tired do you think Bino is going to be of the C to the H to the A to the Z before it's done, Hughie? You being exposed to me down through the years. How sick of that do you think he's going to be?
Probably tired of it already.
Thank you, Mike.
Let's go. All right, so Hughie joining. Hughie, yesterday, they took a step toward making 5 for 5 the law of the land. Why they couldn't have just done that 6 months ago, I have no idea. But these people, they move. I don't. 5 for 5, Hughie, good thing. All athletes except the internationals, they're still under the old policy.
It's gonna be, they're gonna get sued. Yeah, in theory, 5 for 5 is really good. The idea, though, that let's look at Michael Penix Jr., the Falcons' presumptive starting quarterback. He would not have played at Washington the year they went to the national title. That was his 6th year in college because he lost 3 years to injuries. So the first time somebody gets hurt, wait a second here, you're cutting into my value by banning me from playing, even though I tore an ACL in my knee. So, well, actually, you can't tear an ACL anywhere other than a knee. But I think that's going to be problematic, especially since they've already carved out exceptions for those who go on religious missions. So maybe there's going to be a lawsuit. Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lawsuit. You have to carve out an exception for a medical issue. And I think that's going to be, problematic.
Well, like take the Coleman thing, right? Say his hip hop career doesn't work out and he decides he wants to come back to football. If you tell me there's a 5 for 5 dispensation and he gets a couple years down the road, that will tell me that this will chewed up 2 of his years. There's no way in hell in court, Hughie, that's going to hold up. If they say, well, his 2 years, his clock started running at 5 years, there's no way that holds up.
Right. I think the injury thing, again, because they've already started to carve out exceptions, I think there is going to be an issue with guys who, a medical related issue, whether it's physical, mental, whatever. I think that's going to be a problem. I think 5 for 5, everybody agrees with. That means you can play 5 years, but that means there's no injury red shirts, and that's, I think, unfair, frankly.
Bino, your thoughts on the 5 for 5 thing? On the face, it seems like a really good thing. Hughie's got a good point, though. Aside from collective bargaining aside, I don't know how you enforce it.
Yeah, I don't have any doubts that that's the best thing for the game. That's the way that it should go. The courts are rarely going to do what the best thing is for the game. Maybe what we'll get here is that the vast majority of kids that come through can abide by the 5 and 5, and then you have a lawsuit here and a lawsuit there for specific kids. That's my hope, but things seem to snowball. So Hughie's probably exactly right.
Mike Huguenin, presented by Guffon Moving and Storage, ladies and gentlemen. Since the late 1800s, they've been doing it 5 generations. Taylor is now over the operation. He's absolutely next level. They've got all kinds of logistic solutions for you. You can use them as you're receiving. And also just go on their website and check it out. But logistically, they could really help take you to the next level with some of their operations as well. They are taking the entire shipping industry and their storage industry to the absolute higher plane. I mean, they're reaching the higher ground. Stevie Wonder, World, keep on turning. Guffon Moving and Storage, keep on moving. As the great Mike Huguenin joins us on a Friday. Are you a Stevie Wonder fan? Yes or no, Hughie? What happened to Hughie? Is Hughie there, Bride? Did I lose Hughie? Sounds like we've lost Hughie. All right. Let me know when we get Hughie back. Hughie, are you back with me? Hughie, are you back with me?
I think so.
All right. Hughie, tell me, because we've had our Comcast has been going in and out. Shout out to my nephew, Joe, who works at Comcast in Philadelphia. Hey, Joe, I'm holding you responsible today if this thing goes out again, just so you know. We had to reset it this morning. Hughie, are you a Stevie Wonder guy? I just did a little Stevie Wonder for you.
To an extent, yeah. Not everything he released, but I got a couple of his records from the 70s, yeah.
Songs in the Key of Life?
No, I don't have that one.
What?
No,
Give me your favorite Stevie Wonder tune. Give me your favorite Stevie Wonder tune.
Living for the City.
That's a great jam. You got credibility. I love I Wish. I love all his. Bino, your favorite Stevie Wonder?
Tony, mine is probably I'm an in and out Stevie Wonder guy.
Yep.
Mine is probably Superstition.
Oh,
that's not bad either. Yeah.
Michael Sambello was playing lead guitar on that, y'all, who ended up singing the song Maniac, which was unfortunate for him.
Oh,
but goodness. he was in the original Wonder Love group. When you watch them playing on the old Gray Whistle Test online, that's him playing the Hendrix chord in the middle of that. Very superstition. Boom, 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 boom. That's a great little jam. All right, Hughie, one other thing I want to talk to you about here that they were talking about that they're proposing. Taking spring practice and doing away with it and giving college football coaches, you can take that window of those practices, the 20 practices, and move it to the summer if you want. This is professional football now. Are you for that or against that?
Yeah. They're following the NFL model.
Yes.
May as well, I guess. The one thing about the proposals yesterday that bothers me, they're shortening the transfer window again. It's infuriating that they're so short-sighted, but the practice stuff, that doesn't, whatever. I assume the coaches are cool with that, but we go from 2 transfer portal windows for a couple years, then 1 this year, and then we're gonna keep it at 1, but we're gonna shorten the number of days. It's almost like they think, if we make the thing shorter, maybe less guys will go in. That's not gonna happen. And 10 days, you already have coaches complaining about it's hard, given when the window is, to do your due diligence on players. So what a shorter transfer window is going to do, it's going to make 100% positive that there's a hell of a lot more tampering going on. So you got the coaches on one hand bemoaning, oh my God, people are tampering my players. Then you got, oh my God, the transfer portal window makes you do your due diligence so fast. We don't have enough time. So the answer to all that is shorten the window, which means tampering is going to be revved up 100%. It's like you wonder if these guys even think about some of the stuff they propose.
Bino, Hughie's got a point, doesn't he? Because they propose things that you just kind of scratch your head at and go, what world are these people living in?
Yeah, I think the going to 1 portal period was the correct thing to do, but shortening that one is certainly not the right thing to do. And I agree totally with moving spring to summer if that's your preference. As I've told you 100 times, Tony, there's nothing that means less in the world than spring football.
Now, and what they ought to do with the spring is give the kids off. It's a grueling deal. Have the mini camps like they do in the NFL. Go to that model. Keep the contact down. Keep these kids from really hurting each other. And here's the thing about Coleman. We talk about how this isn't worked out, and he's kind of a lemon as far as the Vols go. If he's really gone through concussion, and who the heck knows, because they say he's kind of a strange kid, but apparently he got dinged up at Penn State, and that sort of altered the trajectory of his career. And then maybe he just decided after that he didn't like football, or maybe he's really going through something, all kidding aside, which nobody knows. But this is a highly dangerous sport. And it seems to me, Hughie, the more you can condense things or control things, the better it is for everybody. And if you want to slide that period to the summer and make it as a run-up to the season, that makes more sense to me anyway.
Yeah, because this is not the old era of college football when people thought spring practice was a big deal. It's you move it back, and that means that the freshmen you sign who enroll in January will have more time to acclimate to school, more time to acclimate to other parts of the program. And seriously, if your favorite team coach wants to practice in May and June instead of March, who really cares? I think it lets the younger players and the transfers get more acclimated to your program before they have to hit the field. So I think that's fine. But again, the transfer portal shortening, that is just, I saw that, and I can't even think of it's ridiculousness. I mean, that tampering, again, the idea that they're mad about tampering, well, it's going to increase 100%.
I don't think there's any question about that. And it's already horrible. And here in Knoxville, we know for a fact that Tennessee is going to get more active in the portal, which if you were to take what they're talking about doing, which is shortening the window even more, you think there's anarchy right now? Let them do that. Do you know how crazy that few weeks is going to be to cover, Hughie? Who's coming and who's going and how fast it's going to happen?
Yep. I think you're going to see a bunch of kids go in with a do not contact tag. It's going to be insanity for a coach and his staff, and the general manager and all his minions. So, it's 10 days. So you got 2 weeks.
No way.
And I don't think anybody entering, if it's 10 days, will be a surprise. And maybe it surprises the team he's leaving, but the team he's going to will not be surprised. It's going to, the tampering is going to increase.
These kids, these agents are never going to put up with that. Hughie, on the way out, it is now time for you, as we put our hands together, meet and greet for the Guffon Moving and Storage Mover of the Week. And who do we have on the dial, my good friend, as the Guffon Moving and Storage Mover of the Week?
Henry Vassar, the North Carolina basketball player, enters the draft thinking he's going in the first round. Turned down estimates certainly between $4 and $5 million in NIL money from UNC. A couple reports say no, it was $5. Instead, he goes in the 50s to the Hawks, and he might be on a 2-way contract. So this dude left probably $4 million on the table. And he's a 7-footer who can shoot, but he's not super athletic, not the greatest defender for a guy his size. But this is a case of NIL is working. Should have let it work for you, Henry Vassar, because he's a guy who started his career at Arizona, left to go to North Carolina for more money. And I sort of wonder who told him you should go pro, because he was seen as a late first-round pick anyway. Instead, like I said, he goes in the 50s near the end of the draft. He's going to get a 2-way contract. He'll spend part of his season in Gwinnett if he stays with the Hawks, because their G League plays in College Park, Georgia, in Gwinnett County. So instead of living in luxury in Chapel Hill with $5 million, you're going to be on a 2-way contract living in College Park, Georgia.
He will get to see some Atlanta Swarm games down there in the north in the NIL. Bino, are you a fan of the National Indoor Lacrosse League? Have you ever watched it on television, Beanstar?
I have not, Tony.
They have a nice little gym there in Gwinnett. They have a pretty nice little arena there, to Hughie's point. I don't know if that was on that kid's Singo card to end up there. But Hughie, what that shows is how these kids are being led around by these agents. And all it takes is one agent to kind of lie to a family and tell them what they want to hear. I'm not sure you're giving the kid proper guidance. But then again, if he was thought to be a late first-round draft pick, maybe it was just a quirk of fate, and it isn't anybody's fault. You kind of have to feel for that kid. The kid from Duke the other night who sat there for the whole first round. Now, he was doing the Corey Hart look, which, is hard for me to feel sorry for a kid sitting there with sunglasses on in the inside, in an inner part of a building. I mean, if that's you and you're listening to me, you look like a damn fool with your sunglasses on. Oh, I looked over at Laura Bino. She has her sunglasses on inside right now. Well, I mean, she's got a headache, though. She's got an excuse. Hughie, what about these guys that think they're cool wearing their sunglasses inside the Barclays Center the other night?
I sort of wondered if Isaiah Evans was crying and didn't want people to see him crying. That's another guy. I saw him supposedly in the late teens, and he slid all the way to the second round. So that's another guy who lost a ton of money. But Henry Vassar, because of the way college basketball is going, a 7-footer, guaranteed between $4 and $5 million. A lot of reports saying, or a couple of reports saying it was 5, and instead he goes late second round, where it's Isaiah Evans. I think everybody's assuming he's going to make the full roster, whereas Henry Vassar is probably going to get a 2-way, and that's just you feel bad. And the kid, you used to be able to say, well, maybe he got tired of class and just wanted to start earning money.
Yeah.
But maybe he did get tired of class. But boy, he left a lot of money on the table, and you feel for guys like that. But because he would have been a high-level scorer for North Carolina next year on a team, with a new coach. It's going to be coached well. And instead, again, he could be playing half his games in the G League in College Park, Georgia.
I just don't know why these basketball players with the kind of money that's flying around in the portal right now would choose to put themselves in a spot where they're in the bus leagues. I just, for the life of me, because that is a brutal, like playing in those G League gyms. Like there's one 15 minutes from where I'm at right now in Wilmington, Delaware. Literally like 100 people go to those games, Hughie.
Yeah, it's not
like 100 people.
Not a glamorous life. Like you said, I guess the one thing that's positive, you're living in Atlanta, if you like Atlanta, and I do. Yeah. And you can, you're basically right there with the team. You work out with the Hawks, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I guess his quote was, I was a little surprised. So you also wonder if a team told him, we'll take you late first round. If that happens, obviously the team lied and it went a different way, and maybe because who knows what's going to happen in a draft. So, Isaiah Evans is a close second, but I think Vassar, because of the amount of money he was going to make more than Isaiah Evans in college.
Boy, that's rough.
Boy, he lost a ton. Lost it. And I don't think Henry Vassar is ever going to be a great NBA player. So that's money he's never going to get back.
So the Ghost asks, does G League time count toward your NBA pension? Yes and no. If you're on, my understanding is if you're on a 2-way contract, some of that time counts. But if you're on a G League, if you're just playing in the G League, no, you're not worried. That's not NBA pensionable. I don't believe. Do you know, Hughie?
I think that is correct. But again, I don't think he's a guy. He is from Estonia, so maybe he plays in Europe, and he'll make nice money there. But $5 million, he's never going to get that back. So you feel for him in that regard.
Hughie, you're my main man. I hope you have a Dwight Gooden. Did you stay up last night and watch kickball?
I've been watching a lot of soccer. I did not watch the U.S. game because it didn't mean anything. Losing to Turkey, that's not a great. I'm not sure I would have done exactly what Pochettino did, or the coach did, in terms of subbing everybody out, because I think there is such a thing as momentum.
Yep.
And losing to Turkey, I don't think gives you a lot of momentum going into the next round. But then again, Bosnia is not really a great team. So
we're gonna beat them like we're mad at them.
There's going to be some interesting round of 32 knockout games, which I'm looking forward to seeing some of those.
Hey, Bino, in your humble opinion, did you watch any of that game last night?
I did not, Tony. Like Mike, since it had no meaning for the team, I did not watch any.
Matt Broyle says that College Park, it's not Gwinnett. He says it's College Park. He's correct.
No, the team is called Gwinnett.
He said they're in College Park. They sell tons of tickets. They're close to downtown Atlanta. Part of the reason Vassar went to Atlanta is because they told him he won't be on a two-way.
I find that extremely difficult to believe, given who the Hawks have. And maybe Henry Vassar sits on the bench and plays 5 minutes a game. Because this is a team that, the thing is, he does have a interesting skill. He's a 7-footer who is a pretty solid outside shooter, but he weighs 226 pounds, does not move his feet all that well, can be overpowered in the lane despite being a 7-footer. Yeah, he gets a couple blocks. He's not nearly as defensively dominant as a guy that big should be. I just think, well, he's not making. I don't care. He's not going to be. He lost money. He's never going to get back.
So now we have Hughie on chat heat, and Hughie even has heat. There's chatters that have heat with Hughie now. Bino, your thoughts on that?
Tony, our chatters have heat just about with everyone. It seems.
I mean, these people are. You talk about the freaking legions of the miserables. We attract them all in one place.
The guy's right. It's the College Park Skyhawks. I'm thinking of the Braves team in Gwinnett.
Bang!
So he's right. It's the College Park Skyhawks. That's the team.
Where's the College Park section of Atlanta, Hughie, for the uninitiated?
It is near downtown. Gateway Center Arena. That's where the Atlanta Dream play.
The Dream.
Except, they're moving a couple. They've moved a couple games this year to the State Farm Arena, especially when Caitlin Clark comes to town. But that's where so
they can elbow her. I like what that league does. Those women are vicious, man. We're going to take our LeBron James, our Michael Jordan, and instead of riding the meal ticket, when she gets on the ground, we're going to throat punch her. We're going to kick her. We're going to stomp on her. We're going to tramp on her. We're going to treat her like garbage. Hughie, would you like to comment on women right now and how vicious they can be to each other on the way out?
Player in the league. She's not close to the best player.
She's the best player. Yeah.
She's not the best. Not even close. But
she's a transformational figure in the sport.
I would argue that there are deep-seated reasons for that, and they're not necessarily good reasons. Let's put it that way. But she does take a lot of, she's the brunt of a lot of physical play, no question.
Hughie, I love you. Thank you, and you have a Dwight Gooden.
All right, talk to you next week. Thanks, man.
Matt Broyles is a Hawks fan, Bino. We found a Hawks fan out here. Onse Sala is one of the top GMs for the Hawks. Say it, know it, and write it down. Hughie said that Caitlin Clark's not even one of the top players in the league. Okay, Hughie. Your dime, your dance floor, bruh. That's kind of a bad take. She's a transformational figure for the sport. Before her, the WNBA was a curiosity. Now that she's there, I'm curious. I'm WNBA curious, Mino.
Tony, I can neither defend you or defend Hughie. I know nothing about the WNBA.
Brian, which 5 WNBA players would you take over her? Let's have a WNBA debate here, Brian.
Oh, please.
I don't know if I know. I don't think I know 5 WNBA players.
I'm here to tell you right now, I'm WNBA curious right now. I'm going to say that into my microphone. I'm WNBA curious. Okay. WNBA curious. That's me. Okay. What a great day it is to be alive and well with you. Now they're ripping Hughie's X account. He's a lot of bad takes on that. People are going in on this guy. People are going in on this guy. All right, we come back. We'll hit the reset button. What's that sound? Listen. You can hear it. You can hear it from left to right and from right to left. My name's Chaz Coleman, and I'm the best. So we take a brief time out. Mix Master Chaz Coleman. How does Tennessee go to the portal and they freaking get a rapper? The top signee out of the portal, ladies and gentlemen. 0 sacks, 0 pressures, 0 tackles, but a gold record. I mean, can you make that up? As we continue with more on the other side right after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Tona B, inviting you to experience the Collins Insurance difference. And what's that? How about multiple top carriers that you can trust? Like Erie, they underwrite our entire Rainier studio and everything around it. Travelers, Hartford, Hanover, Progressive. We do what's right because we care. In today's technology-driven world, maintaining the human touch, Bruce Springsteen, is one of our main focuses. We deliver the best customer service humanly possible. We give you someone that you can actually call or sit in front of. Imagine that. No call centers here. Experience the Collins Insurance difference. Check them out at collinsinsuranceTN.com, and they're Mrs. B approved. Collins Insurance. TB with a few serious questions. You feeling tired? Foggy? You gaining weight? Or you just don't feel like yourself anymore? Hormone therapy is finally becoming mainstream, but it's truly something my man, Dr. Tom Rogers, has been doing for over 20 years. Dr. Rogers at Performance Medicine wants you to feel your best, and he treats both males and females. So, guys, we can do this as a family. At Performance Medicine, hormone therapy is personalized to you. If you're dealing with hot flashes or mood swings or low energy, decreased libido, fatigue, muscle loss, stubborn weight gain, it might be time to find out what your body really needs. No shame in this game. You can do something about all the above. Performance Medicine offers customized hormone treatment plans based on comprehensive lab testing with options like pellets, creams, patches, oral medications, and injections. The goal is simple. Help you feel like yourself again. Next level. Make your life better. Take it to the higher plane. Visit performancemedicine.net. Schedule your consultation today. You'll feel your best with Performance Medicine.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready, because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got 2 locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org. And both locations, we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Got a plumbing or HVAC problem at home? Whether it's an AC that won't cool, a furnace acting up, a clogged drain, or a water heater problem, Pipe Wrench Home Services is ready to help. Right now, when you schedule any HVAC or plumbing repair, your service fee is waived with the completed repair. That means expert help fast without the extra cost just to show up. Our certified technicians will quickly diagnose the issue and provide reliable solutions to make your home comfortable again. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when help matters most. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. Schedule your repair today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Service fee waived with completed HVAC or plumbing repair. Restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders. Fly with Calhoun's wings or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces. award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times, 80 proof of vodka, delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka, T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to shout out the Atlanta Hustle, the ultimate Frisbee team that plays down there in College Park. And shout out the lovely Sarah Burns, who knows those folks very well. Shout her out. She's one of their biggest fans. Let's, without further ado, get to the phones. Bino, are you ready to go to our phones? Since Mark in the Lumbo is our first caller here, Bino, are you excited to hear what Mark in the Lumbo has to say about this whole saga?
Always, Tony. Always. Let's get him in here.
All right. Let's, without further ado, bring Mark in the Lumbo in the Hunting in the Mix. Lumbo, welcome in.
Hey guys, happy Friday. Before I get into the Chaz Coleman thing, when I called 3 weeks ago or so, and I said I was kind of coy about who my source was, now I can tell you it was his AAU basketball coach. I know the guy. We've talked about this stuff for months. But Chaz, he basically told me Chaz was coming before Chaz was coming. That was my source on it. I didn't want to reveal that, but now it's moot. And I want to say something real quick.
Well, hang on. Hey, Bino, I'd say it's a pretty good source when you're dealing with the guy's AAU coach who would go by his house and pick him up and knew the family. That's a pretty good source, Beanstar. What do you think?
No, I think that's an excellent source. What kind of basketball player was he?
Well, he's a great athlete. I mean, complete knucklehead, but great athlete. The whole family, and he coached the brothers and the cousins and all that. And the reason why I bring that up is I saw a story the other day by a site, I won't name it, that quote unquote covers Tennessee. And by covers, I mean they aggregate other people's work and make clickable stories on it. which is fine. Any way to make a living. But guys, a caller into a talk show is not reportable information. Okay, Tony doesn't have the same standards as a guy on the beat, but he does have standards. Okay, when he goes with something in the blog or on air, he's vetted it. You don't take a talk show, and because they produced an article with my phone call from last week talking about Chaz as some kind of reportable information. That's not reportable information. You want to aggregate, make a living off it, all the more power to you, but you guys got to have some kind of standard here. Now, on to Chaz. I told you he was goofy, Tony. I told you the kid was a goofball. This is on the Mount Rushmore, isn't it? Has to be, right? Of all-time Tennessee stuff.
I mean, the guy is literally going to pursue a career in hip hop. I don't know how to like say that. I mean, this is like Grandmaster Coleman. What are we doing, Bino? How do we end up with Grandmaster Coleman being a star?
I don't know, but to hear you and Sean describe him, his picture, I guess he'll be Lil Chaz.
Lil
And Tony, I was talking to somebody at Ohio State, not a beat writer or anything, just a fan, but fairly well-connected fan. He said he didn't think there was any way they'd take him. They don't think he'd be ready to play football in the fall. Because when this first broke, I was like, well, Tennessee's trying to couch it as a concussion issue, so they could say, well, we're cutting him loose, but any of you other SOBs try to play him this fall, you're going to be knowingly playing a player with concussion history. Not like that would matter. Or they're trying to get out of having to pay him. But I don't even think Ohio State would take him for free. Just their culture and BS that they try to pull as far as being above it all.
I don't think. Well, he's not going to play football. Talking to people today, he's got zero interest. It doesn't mean anything.
He'd be ready to play. He wouldn't be ready to play at the P4 level. Looking at him,
no, it doesn't mean anything to him.
He's just done.
No,
he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Hey, Mark, do you think this is a kid that just got to where he didn't want to play football, had a concussion and decided he didn't want to play football, came here and decided he didn't want to play football? Which of those is the more likely scenario, or are all of them true?
I think it's a bit of all of it. I think he's a total goofball. He's a goofy kid. Like I mentioned to you guys before, it'd be pulling teeth to get him to go play in the AAU tournament. He's a different kid. The guy was always over everything he would tell me. He'd be like, look, man, he's just a different kind of kid. He's really goofy.
When you gave the story about several weeks back, Mark, because I listen when people talk, and I this is one of my gifts. I have a way to retain when people tell me things. I can't read it out of a book. When somebody tells me something, I lock in on it. You said that guy told you, now you didn't say who it was, but you pull up to the house and we have a tournament, and sometimes he would come out and sometimes he wouldn't. That's not, listen, that's not a good profile of a guy that's going to play high-level sports, because the thing that separates these guys from each other is wanting it. It's okay to be gifted.
Yeah.
You have to want it. And that's way before the kid suffered from concussion. So that to me speaks to the profile of somebody.
And Tony, is basketball just love too, not football.
There you go.
Football is just.
And if you're not going to come outside for your love, some guys just don't have that motor. You know, they've got great God-given ability, and that's cool. You know, it takes all kinds in life. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we invested that money in him.
And because I would mention this guy, say, look, man, the strength coach wants nothing to do with this dude. And the guy would tell me, well, look, the strength coach is going to get him in the weight room at some point, and he's going to say, well, he's worth the headache. I said, I don't know, man. Like, it's pretty dire. He's like, the kid's just an absolute freak athlete, but he's totally goofy. So Where does this rank on all time? We Are Tennessee moments. I mean, where do you put this?
It's
gotta be
pretty
top
high
4.
up there. Oh, it's way up there. Bino, this is
It's
way.
on the Mount Rushmore.
We ought to do a show like Monday now that this is all said and done.
Yeah,
Beanstar.
absolutely. I was going to suggest that. Have to do it.
Yeah,
Have to do it.
on
Have to do
the
show.
on just the idiotic stuff we've seen here, because this is way up there, and we've seen some really idiotic things here down through the years. That might be fun to relive some of that.
I mean, the Dooley Jones era alone could fill up Mount Rushmore. This is just got to be at the top of the very near the top of the list. That'd be a great show. Unbelievable. All right, guys.
I mean, here's the crazy thing about it, Mark.
Yeah.
All this talk, all this time, all this investment in a guy that never played a down.
And
I'm
Tony,
not sure he went to a practice. I'm not sure he went to a football practice.
Here's the other thing, Tony. We did everything we were supposed to do here.
Correct.
We snookered the number one program in the country right now. We snookered them and outbid them on this guy. And I'm telling you, Tony, last fall, it was fait accompli that this kid was going to Ohio State. It was over and done with. And he, on the field after they played Penn State, he was being actively recruited by their staff. It was over and he was going to Ohio State. And we snookered them and got this kid. We did everything we were supposed to do here. And this is what happens. You can't make it up.
I agree with you 100%. Thank you. It's a great call, and I appreciate you sharing the information with us in real time, because it was great information. And the family or the coach still thought behind the scenes, the family was spinning to the coach, hey, this guy's still going to play like as of last week, and the kid wasn't going to play. But the profile stuff that Mark provided us in real time, Bino, I knew they were in trouble with him when Mark said about a month ago that guy told him I'd go to the door to get him to go come play a tournament, and he wouldn't come out, even though he was in the house. That's just, you don't have to worry about that kid ever being a high-level athlete of any repute. You know what I mean? Like the higher you go up the food chain, because you got to want to go play. I mean, that's part of the deal. But
yeah, most great players, Tony, most high-level players are more just animals competitively than I mean, that comes before the ability level. The ones that make it the furthest are just they just compete at everything all the time.
I don't I don't know what to say about this thing, because Mark's right. It's one of the great, weird, you can't make this up Tennessee sports stories. We want them to play in the portal. We want them to get these high caliber guys. Now, Bino's right. Going forward in the portal, what's the saying, Bino? I'm not good at these sayings. What's the saying?
It's
production. What is it? Something over.
Yeah, it's production over potential.
And that's the guy at Indiana. That's what he says. That's why he takes older players. And he doesn't care if you've produced at the D2 level. 1AA. Like, you look at their roster. That's what they're doing. All right, let me get to a couple other notes and nuggets, and then I've got my man William hanging on, who I want to get into. William, sharpen your pencil. I want to get into Andy's appearance tomorrow night, who had a great appearance on the show yesterday. A couple other news and notes here. I got 3 items for you. So Chaz Coleman's gone. The second item is that Michigan, in appointing this Mike Boynton guy as quickly as they did has bought themselves some time. There is a NCAA byline, or I don't even know what you would call this thing, but it's byline's not the right term. I was in the car for a long time yesterday. But there's language that when you hire an interim coach, these teams have 30 plus 5 more days now to keep their roster together. So none of those Michigan kids can do anything for 35 days. And so if you just take the clock, and that would mean early August. Rick Barnes said yesterday that Tennessee has a scholarship available. Now, Bino, do you think Rick Barnes offered that up, or even if he's answering a question at that open practice yesterday, do you believe Rick Barnes says that at 72 years of age just for his health, or do you believe he said that for a reason, Bino, publicly?
I think the only way that he doesn't say it to put a message out there is if, because of the timing of the opening at Michigan and the obvious JP Estrella's up there at Michigan, would he come back? Unless someone just because of that openly said, Coach, do you have a scholarship available? And he said, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he said it for a fact.
My belief is even if he was asked about it, he could have said, no, we're not. And no, we don't. Which technically the answer is no, we don't. Because they had a kid that was there. That was accounting for their 15th. But apparently they've moved that kid out of there, which leads me to this. This is interesting. Now I'm going to say this one more time. Because of the Boynton thing, Michigan now has a 35-day grace period. I don't know if it's JP Estrella that they want off that roster. I don't know who they want off. I don't know if it's anybody they want off that roster. I don't know if they're going to add somebody like when they added ZZ Stop at the Peach Jam Classic back in the day, which that sort of thing still goes on. And you reclass kids. That's still, any of this is in play. It's why James Daniel IV had a really good point on YouTube the other day, which I talked about today in the blog. If I'm a power program, I'm keeping 1 or 2 spots open for this very reason in basketball. First of all my guys are not going to play. Like if I have 13 guys on my roster, they're not all going to play. That's part one. Part two, when I start to think about and we start to consider how in flux that sport is, you always have to keep a spot open. The third thing is, when I hear from a source that Barnes is out with Larry Pratt last week, there are no secrets in that sport. And the NIL people, were they already thinking about what was getting ready to happen at Michigan? Bino, within that profession, do you think that came as a total shock to people in that profession that guy was negotiating with the Mavericks? Or did they know about it? Did they know about it in the profession, Bino? What do you believe? Total shock, or they know about it?
There's very little that goes on in that profession that those inside of it don't know about. Long before we do.
I'm inclined to agree with that. And look, I'm not trying to put 2 and 2 together here, but it's an interesting little development that occurred. And that was end of last week. When did the news on, Brian, when did the news on Dusty May and the Mavericks break? What day was that? Tuesday?
It was Tuesday.
Yeah. Look, I'm not here to connect dots, and I'm not here to say that, I don't even know if it's JP Estrella Tennessee's interested in on that Michigan roster. I would venture to guess there are a whole lot of agents fielding a whole lot of calls. And if Michigan's going to keep that roster together, they're going to have to re-recruit those guys. And I would imagine it's going to get more expensive for Michigan to keep their basketball team together. Dusty May couldn't get out of that stuff quickly enough. If I was in overtime, I don't know if I'd call it stuff, if you know what I mean. Because there ain't enough dude wipes in the world to get that out of what's going on in college sports right now. So that's the second item. Third item. We were talking about the baseballs a couple days ago and just how quiet they've been in the portal. It was Wednesday. And my word of caution all was and remains that Tony put his rosters together in July. July's moving month in the deal. Josh Elander said, hold my Dos Equis. I'll show you something. Tennessee lands Baylor transfer infielder Travis Sanders this morning. He goes public with his commitment. Sanders was an all Big 12 second team honoree at shortstop. Hit .369, 9 home runs, 24 steals for the Baylor Bears. Now, Bino the Great, they added the top shortstop in the portal yesterday. They added Wright State's big banger, who has already proved that he likes to hit in our ballpark. They added a kid from Louisville whose brother is in Major League Baseball and who has a high end and is thought to have extremely high end ability. Bino, I would say Tennessee's had a damn good week in the transfer portal after nothing going on there for a while.
Yeah, very encouraging week, Tony. Obviously had a lot of fish on the line that they just hadn't completely landed, and that's very good. Great, it's an excellent week. I was a little bit concerned that 3 of the pitchers that they had committed had all had elbow surgery. Not that that's an uncommon thing these days and times, but you hope you get at least 2 of those 3 that pitched well. But yeah, it was very encouraging last several days for Tennessee's baseball program. Much needed too.
I want to shout out as well, and this is my final item, and then we'll go to the phones at 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunting in the mix with us. I also would like to shout out here without further ado, Danny White. Tennessee finished 14th in the Director's Cup or whatever they call that thing, which does not pretend well, or 15th, I'm sorry, for the all everything school. In fact, Tennessee didn't even put a release out on it. But Adam Sparks reported today that Danny White pocketed $192,500 because he has a contract that he gets a bonus, even though he's making $3.5 million. If the Vols finish in the top 24. Now, you want to tell the guy's got a 6-year rollover. He wakes up every year, fogs up a mirror, and that contract rolls right over to 6 years. The guy's got the best contract in the sport. The guy just put $192,500 because he was in the top 24. Bino, does the man have good work if you can get it?
Outstanding, Tony. Outstanding work by his agent. Congratulations.
By the way, if he finishes in the top 40 in that Director's Cup, he gets a $150,000 bonus. Can I get in line over at UT for some of this cash? I mean, we've served you for 30, what is it now? Going on 32 years. Can I get a little something over here in my neck of the woods?
You cannot, Tony.
We've created value here.
Yes, we have, but you cannot.
All right, let's go to the phones. Bino, before we go to the phones, what's your level of pump? And I want your absolute level of pump. What is your level of pump right now for Rapper Andy tomorrow night? And I would like you to tell me if you have a word of advice for him, dating back to your days in the Tough Man when you did that back in the day.
Well, I tell you, Tony, I took a beating that was obviously so severe that I have no recollection of the event at all. And the fact that it was in the Oak Ridge Mall, there's obviously no one that can corroborate one way or the other. So I just be ready, Andy.
Yep.
Defend, move, stick, and get out of there.
Yep. And that's what Bino said, that he got in there. And now maybe this will come back to him, but Andy, you got to understand, when Bino got in the ring, he said that the cortisol just amped up through his body, and his level of excitement, just all that juice. Andy, be careful tomorrow. Be careful tomorrow, man. With the juice, it's going to go through you. You got to breathe, bro. You got to breathe. But stick and jab. Early on, stick and jab. Work your way into the fight. Did you hear Andy yesterday, Bino, talking about the sweet science of switching to southpaw and the? I did. And the
Hey,
and
that's
by the way,
in a
tomorrow
neighboring
night,
county. That's that's enticing to me.
you really ought to go down there. A Saturday night date, you and Chino. What's the thing called, Brian? Do you remember what that thing is called?
Slugfest in Sweetwater or something like that?
Slugfest, yeah. It's Slugfest 6. And what I like about it is it's their first annual, but they call it Slugfest 6. But it's their first. I don't argue with things like this. I'm totally fired up. I'm totally focused. I'm totally prepared for William and Fort Oglethorpe's call, by which all other calls for the rest of our time together will be judged. William and Fort Oglethorpe, you are without a doubt absolutely next level. What is on your mind today?
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing today? Just to ask.
Great, William. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic, Tony. So a couple of days ago, probably Wednesday, I want to say. I want to say it's Wednesday. My dad sent me an image of the top 25 toughest places to play according to EA Sports for College Football 27. This is the top 25. Starting at the very bottom is Mississippi State. Oh Lord. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
Now, William, last year you read to us a thing from Fox Sports that had Tennessee in a certain spot, and then we learned it was alphabetical. What exactly? Say this one more time, what you found. Do this again.
Well, my dad sent this to me. But I'm not sure if this is real or not. But I believe it is. I don't know. But my dad.
So it's a ranking, William, of the top 25 hardest places to play college football, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, by EA Sports. All right. Where are the SEC teams? You've already given us Mississippi State at 25. What other SEC venues are on there?
South Carolina, Auburn, Texas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and LSU.
Not surprised. Where do those rank?
South Carolina is in 16th. Auburn is 14th. In front of Auburn is Texas is 13. And 11th is Oklahoma. 10 is Kyle Field, home of the Texas A&M Aggies. And then 8 is Tennessee. For some reason, Florida's in front of us. 5 is Bama, 4 is Georgia, and 1 is LSU, which I understand Alabama, Georgia, and LSU.
It is unbelievable, William. You talk about a value-added phone call. Give me that list one more time. So Mississippi Mistakes Stadium is 25.
Yes,
Where are the Vols?
8. And for some reason, Florida is right in front of us. I don't know why.
Bull hockey. Horse hockey,
so,
as Colonel Potter once said.
If I were to change this,
Yep.
I would put Tennessee at 4.
Right.
I would put A&M in like 6 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Either leave Bama at 5 or drop Georgia down to 5.
Bino, who's number 1 on this list? Have you gotten this out of William? Who number 1 is?
I think LSU is the top ranked SEC team in toughest places to play. I don't know if he's given us the actual number 1.
Yeah.
It is the actual number 1. Right behind them is Penn State and Ohio State.
Penn State, Ohio State. Penn State?
Yeah.
Penn
Where
State?
does Michigan rank on that, William?
Penn State?
Michigan.
Penn State? Penn State, William? Give me the top 3 again, William. Do it again. Give me the top 3. All right, give me the go 1 through 3. Do it again.
All right, 1
number
LSU,
1 is
2 Ohio State. 3,
right.
Penn State.
Penn State?
Yes. Yeah, you heard me right. Penn State.
Who's number 4, William?
Georgia.
Number 5?
Alabama.
Number 6?
Oregon. My bad.
Number 7?
Florida for some reason.
Bino, can you imagine having Florida above Neyland Stadium as a tough place to play? With those fair weather fans that last year did their little chant and left in the 3rd quarter. I mean, literally, they vacated out of there. I mean, are you kidding me, Bino?
No,
those people?
Not unless heat index is the top matrix in that.
Exactly.
I mean, all these SEC, just about all these SEC venues are extremely hard to play in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard to differentiate.
William, you're the man. Now, let me ask you something. How far is Fort Oglethorpe to Sweetwater, William? Because it sounds like a good road trip for your pop, your ma, and you. to go support the rapper Andy tomorrow night, William?
I actually don't. I don't think I know where the Sweetwater is. I don't.
All right.
So I have no clue. Probably.
Bino, you are from those parts, those stomping grounds. How, if we put a GoFundMe together for William and Familia, how far of a ride would that be from Fort Oglethorpe near Lake Winnie, Bino?
I'm guessing that'd be about a 3-hour trip for
3 hours
for William.
Laura, you told me that was 45 minutes to Sweetwater from there. Oh, she said it's 45 minutes from Knoxville.
Yes.
Oh, never mind, William. I thought you were right next door, man. I need geography lessons. William, do you have a good time on this show?
Yes, sir, Tony Basilio, I do.
William, you have a doc. William, did you watch any kickball last night on the way out?
I watched a little bit of the Turkey and USA game. I didn't watch all of it. I just know that the U.S. lost. But that doesn't really matter because Turkey's eliminated anyway, and we're in the round of 32 anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
William, Volpet is reporting that he's at the Sweetwater weigh-in, and he can report that Andy came in at a rather svelte 142, Bino.
142. Where does that? I saw where I believe Andy's fighting featherweight. Where does that fall?
Featherweight.
In that weight class.
Zero idea. But Bino, are you fired up, focused, and prepared for what could be right now with rapper Andy getting in the ring? Because I know some people are trying to crack on him. You got to have some freaking cojones to get in the ring and do that, Bino. Like a young you back in the day. You got to be, you got to have some courage now.
No question, Tony. Much more than I've got.
Yep. Especially, these days.
Or any day.
Beanstar on the way out. William, on the way out, do you have any other words of wisdom to impart to us? You've been next level.
All I need to say is that this ranking is entirely stupid. Tennessee should be at least in the top 4. And why is Penn State in 3rd? And why is Florida in front of us? That just doesn't make sense to me. The people at
William
just need a rank.
William, I've taken you from a boy to a man, and I hope you have a Dwight Gooden. But for the record, it's Penn State. That's how we say it. You have to get really obnoxious, really nasally, really Yankee. You have to channel it through your nose. Mine's a lot larger than yours, William. And here's how we do it. Bino, read me the top 3 again, Bino.
LSU is number 1. Ohio State, number 2. Penn State, number 3.
Penn State? That's how we do it, William. It's kind of like it's a takeoff of the
overrated. I vastly stretched your drive. Your drive is only an hour. I forgot Fort Oglethorpe is right below Chattanooga. You can get there in an hour.
So Fort Oglethorpe, somebody just said on the chat, Tony, you're right. It's 45 minutes away. Hey, William.
Yeah, it's about an hour drive. Hit 11, William. It sits right between Philadelphia and Athens.
William, I'm here to tell you that would be a great, great family night out for you all. A wonderful family night out. Take a brief time out. We'll get a few more phone calls in. It's absolutely next level. William, you are now officially, after that phone call, and I heard you scream it back at me, Penn State. Brother, you're under wings. We got 2 callers now under wings. Joshy Boy and William are both under wings. As we continue with more on the other side after this.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times, 80 proof of vodka, delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka, T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready, because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside, so get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got 2 locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org. And both locations, we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
It's official. It's summer. And how does East Tennessee do summer? With your Knoxville Smokies, of course. Only 5 homestands remaining. So if you haven't been to a game yet, what are you waiting for? Next week is a huge week with All You Can Eat Wednesday, Knox Vegas Thirsty Thursday, Friday fireworks, and then Saturday, we're celebrating our country's 250th birthday. America's favorite pastime and fireworks. Is there a better way to celebrate? And come meet Bluey on Sunday. Don't miss the fun. Get your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
TB back with you. Let's go to the phones. We'll do a little overtime on this Friday, and then we'll get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because my niece is getting married here in about 3 hours, and I gotta get a shower and clean me up and all that good stuff. But Fat Five Freddy wouldn't want it any other way. Fat Five Freddy, you broke into the rap game back in the late 80s, and now Chaz Coleman wants to be a part of it, but we'll get to that some other time. I know you called for another reason. Fat Five Freddy, welcome in on this Friday.
What you say, man? Doing good.
Hey, Fat Five Freddy.
Tony, I'd say everybody would be in support of you taking a shower. That's what you were asking me, so I'm all for that, too.
Interesting.
Hey, I got something to say about Brian. And it just took me listening about however long he's been there. I think he got a stat wrong sometime 2 or 3 weeks ago. And of course, I can't even remember what it was now, but I never heard him miss one before. He was AI before AI ever showed up. So
doesn't happen much, does it? I guess there's a glitch in all codes, though, you know?
I can remember when the first Tommy John surgery was done. And, there was just no thoughts that a player would ever be able to be successful with that to the extent like it never happened. And then we kind of got used to that, but there were still a bunch of misses. But we've got to the point where a coach like Elander can basically base his whole next season on just being comfortable that TJ surgery is going to work for the majority of those 3 main pitchers. So,
yeah, that's a little on the risky side. I think what they're doing, though, if you think about it, they already have 2 great arms they know are there. They already have a couple guys in the bullpen they know they can count on. And the 3 guys that they've gotten involved with are really high end. Freddie, if one of the 3 works out, that's great. If 2 of the 3 works out, that's tremendous. If 3 of the 3 work out, then they're going to have a super baseball team. I think those are risks worth taking for them, if you think about it. I mean, I think they are. What do you think?
Well, after the staff we had last year, we have to do something. So now the one thing that bothers to me, I don't know if the stats they had in the paper were actually right or not on one of the guys. He pitched 60 innings for total in the year before the thing, And when I ran his number of walks and hit by pitches, that was coming out to about 9 a game. Well, you can't put 9 guys on base in the SEC. Well, you won't be here long if you do that. So I'm thinking maybe they had the wrong data in there. But anyway,
well, I mean, yeah, we're gonna bring Ben McKee on top of the week and sort of unpack this stuff.
Yeah,
I kind of get the sense that the new pitching coach, they know what they want. They know what they're looking for. And these are guys he thinks he can unlock, too, as they come back from injury.
Well, I'm optimistic. Of course, I always am. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'd hate to spend all winter and everything being pessimistic, okay? I mean,
well, that shortstop is my key position. And when you tell me that's a top shortstop available in the portal, and I was asking Berkey about him, because I want to get Berkey on. Frat 5, stay right there. We'll finish his call as part of our overtime extravaganza. As I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, here on Fan Run Radio, the great William Pattison is on the way next, followed by Russell Smith and the crew. Love you, appreciate you, peace. Have a great weekend.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
To me, Freddie, it begins and ends with that shortstop in that sport. You got to be great up the middle. And apparently they got a great one out of Dallas Baptist yesterday.
Well, like I told you, I like to remain optimistic about this stuff. But when I saw Marin and those guys leaving, I was thinking, well, optimistically, I hope that means that they know somebody's coming down the pike that's better than they are. So I'm kind of glad to hear that. Tony, went back during the women's softball stuff, when basically NCAA and all that, I was watching a few of those games, and what makes those games so enjoyable, is the flow of the game. And the game flows well for one reason only. It kind of dawned on me. Because there's no pickoff attempts at first.
Yep.
And that absolutely kills the men's game. They're going to have to do something about that. But then my next thought was, well, what if they did have a pickoff move over there? How would they throw it over there, do you think? Would they windmill that baby over there, or what would they do?
Pina, your brother's the best, isn't he? Is he the best?
I mean, really?
Yeah.
This guy the best, Pina, or what, man?
Tony, since we're in the 1 o'clock hour, and maybe since this probably my last call for a while, because I can do some Major League Baseball here after the All-Star game, but
sure.
I ran across a story the other day that absolutely made me think of the way you've always ran your show, with kind of a amalgamation or interchange of sports, music, and culture. And this little story to me hit all three of those. You guys, any of you ever remember hearing the name Jim Weatherly?
Jim Weatherly.
Freddie was, I for some reason, I've got a Weatherly in my mind that was a defensive back.
Well, this guy was actually the quarterback on Ole Miss's last SEC, or next to the last, or the last SEC championship team. And they went 10-0 that year. Of course, that was a pre-black player, and that was segregated ball at Ole Miss, and I don't know if they had even any black students. And that guy was born in a small town in Mississippi in 1943. So you can imagine that he didn't do a lot of cross-culture stuff with black people. But what he's known for now is he wrote for Gladys Knight and the Pips, Midnight Train, Georgia. Neither one of us are born, and all 3 or 4 are her greatest hits.
What?
Now, where did that come from?
That's the greatest piece of music / sports trivia. Because I knew Mike Reed from Penn State is a great, prolific. He was a prodigy, a music prodigy, and he went to Nashville and wrote. And you guys know about his prowess, Mike Reed, who wrote all those great country songs in the 70s and 80s. I had no idea that the Jim Weatherly that wrote those tunes for Gladys Knight is a guy that played quarterback at Mississippi.
And just
on their
that.
last.
That was
on their
just
last.
a few years later when Gladys Knight and the Pips and them were doing that. So I don't know how he got in that culture, but buddy, once he dove in that pool, he went deep down in it.
He wrote "Neither One of Us Wants to Be the First to Say Goodbye," which is one of the
Plus
Daryl Hall.
Georgia.
Well, Daryl Hall did a version of "Neither One of Us Wants to Be the First to Say Goodbye," and Daryl Hall said that song when they were recording it, like a cover version of it, he said it's such a beautiful song that he almost started to cry.
Yeah,
like at the lyrics, the soul of that song. Freddie, you just blew my mind, man.
Well, I knew you and Jeff and a few of us would appreciate that. And I won't take up y'all's time. And everybody, have a happy July 4th. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you, my brother. Thank you. Wow. By the way, I was really pleased, and our next caller will be as well, that the U.S. decided to let the kids play last night, and a bunch of guys that don't have experience, and got them experience. And I was glad to see Austin Trusty score last night, who's a former member of the Philadelphia Union, one of the guys they grew, one of the Americans they grew. I was also proud to see Aronson out there, another member of the Union's academy that they've grown. And they have a couple other brothers that one day I think are going to have an opportunity to play, including a 17-year-old alleged prodigy on their team who's been signed, or I guess he's 16 now. But I love Aronson. He was a great player for the Union. I'm proud to see some of those kids cycle up. But great call, Fab Five Freddie. And I would imagine our next guest was extremely moved by last night's game as well. Titans Bill, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you? I didn't watch it.
As I said, Bino, I knew that.
I cannot comment.
See, Bino, I knew that this guy right here lived and died with every moment last night because it happened to coincide when Jesse was on doing his newscast. And he chose soccer over Jesse's newscast last night, Bino. And that's love right there.
Yeah, I sat up at 11 o'clock at night to watch the great Jesse.
What else were you watching?
Well, I was watching a pretty good classical movie on HBO Max called Clash by Night. Barbara Stanwyck, Paul Douglas, Robert Ryan.
11 o'clock at night on HBO Max. What is HBO Max? I don't have any of those movie channels, so I don't watch movies. What is HBO Max? What is that?
It's home box office and Cinemax.
So they're combined now?
Yeah.
There's no more Cinemax?
Well, there's still a Cinemax, but you could also get HBO, and you could also pick up Turner Classic movies on HBO Max.
Bino, when I was a kid, you know what we called Cinemax, don't you? Late at night?
I do not, Tony.
Well,
I'm afraid to ask. Late at night.
So, Bill, you're watching HBO Max late at night, huh? What was the movie on?
Well, I watched it until 11 o'clock. Then I turned it to let's see the CW. Then I turned it off, and then I watched my nephew Jesse on my cell phone.
Bill, do you watch Jesse every night?
Yeah.
That's good.
Bill, in your humble opinion, what are you watching right now on television? Why are you listening to the show?
I am watching The Great Race.
The Great Race. Okay.
Jack Lemmon. Peter Falk.
Okay.
Natalie Wood.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Do you think
Vance.
Natalie Wood beautiful or no, Bill?
She is beautiful.
Where do you put her? Where do you rank her?
I would rank her with Faye Dunaway and probably Shirley Jones.
Right.
And of course, I still believe that husband of hers killed her. You know, she drowned. She fell off a boat and drowned.
Her husband was a famous actor, right? What was his name?
Robert Wagner.
Who used to do the thing with the battery. I dare you to knock these off. Was that him? Was that Robert Wagner, Bino, that did the Eveready commercials or whatever it was? And he dared you to knock this off?
Is that right, Bill? I believe that's correct.
I don't know.
Yeah. Bill, Laura just asked me if we're about ready to go. I'm holding up lunch for the crew, Bill. Do you want to hold up lunch with your inane stuff that you're getting ready to get into, or would you rather just us talk?
I'll tell you what. You can hang up and.
No, I'm not going to hang up. I'm not going to hang up on you. Go ahead, Bill. Continue. What you got?
Okay,
what you're getting into here needs to be said.
I was doing my homework.
That's a cute shirt.
Because you brought up Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
I'll tell you, both her and Angel Reese are the same age. And you brought up Jessie. Jessie is 2 years older than the both of them. Of course, this coming September, the 29th, Jessie will be turning 26. And I believe both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are 24.
Bino, do you think Ohio State at number 2 is ranked too high on that on Williams' list? People in here are saying that they're overrated. That's an overrated thing at number 2.
I've never been there, Tony. I don't know. I would think Ohio State is certainly top 5. I don't know if they're 2 or not, but certainly top 5.
Bill, we now have a chatter on YouTube called Julie Herman's Roast Beef. Your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, no comment.
Sorsby's gambling debt over here on YouTube thinks that Christopher Walken did it. Was Christopher Walken on that boat, Bill?
I believe he was. I believe there was rumor that both Natalie Wood and Christopher Walken kind of had thing going.
Bill, Bino, in your humble opinion, Christopher Walken in The Deer Hunter, how good was he?
Excellent, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I will cede any movie knowledge to Bill.
That movie gave me nightmares, Bill.
In awe of his movie knowledge.
That movie was powerful, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, do you have any final thoughts for us? Because you've been incredible today.
Yeah, Tony, there's this one pizza place, pizza establishment you need to try it.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Bino, why did you chuckle when he said there's one pizza place? What brought about the chuckle, Bino?
I don't know. I just didn't think we were going in the pizza direction. Bill always has he's always got an ace up his sleeve.
Well, it's interesting, Bill, because in our household, and I'm back in Pennsylvania, Friday was pizza day, and we would go get Hugo's Pizza on Fridays. Go ahead, Bill.
It's the Universal Pizza. It's on Charles Severs Highway in Clinton, Tennessee. My sister Sandy brought home a couple of boxes of pizza, and I got the ham solo.
You got a ham sandwich.
Ham solo.
Ham sandwich. Why
Ham
would you eat a
Solo.
ham sandwich from a pizza place?
Ham Solo. Like Han Solo in Star Wars.
Brian, is he talking about Hope Solo now? He's back to the World Cup, isn't he? You can't keep this guy off a World Cup, Bino. He's back to Hope Solo.
It's the Ham Solo.
The Han Solo? You're back to talking about...
The Ham Solo. H-A-M.
So we're back to you're back to HBO Max?
Ham Solo.
HBO Max? Hey, Bill, thank you. It's a great call by you. Incredible. Great work, man. Have a good weekend. Back to our phones we go. Let's get our next call in. And who's in there? W. Lynn closing it out for us.
Lynn here.
All that stands between Laura and lunch.
I think we've had it.
All that stands between Laura and lunch is W. Lynn's call. Go ahead, W. Lynn. No pressure.
I wanted to know if the brawl that Andy's in, or the fight, is it going to be held at the Lost Sea in Sweetwater?
It is not, W. Lynn. It is at the National Guard Armory in Sweetwater, I believe.
Okay.
Not the Lost Sea.
I love the Lost Sea. I've been there about 5 times. Anyhow, Tony, I'm going to move on to sports here. Well, before I go into sports, I tried to call you when you were on I-81 yesterday, because I wanted to know where you were when that wreck almost happened.
Right.
And to tell you, I want to commend Laura, because we went up that stretch, to Maine for 25 years.
Yep. And
anytime I got sleepy, my wife, Ellen, would drive. She made a no I-81 rule. She would not drive on 81. She said, I don't care if you got to get coffee, what you got to do, you got to be awake, because I'm not driving on 81. So I want to commend Laura for driving and not allowing y'all to be in an accident.
And I'm going to tell you something. I commend her too. She's a will woman. And W. Lynn, that traffic yesterday was unbelievable going up there. And then I got to do the easy part, which was the last 4 hours. Bill, when you're driving around Baltimore on 695 and there were 3 different accidents, we got rerouted 3 different times. What's usually a 9.5 hour trip took close to 12 yesterday. And I was shocked we were still married when it was over.
That's always a great feeling, Tony.
Oh my gosh. I only got snapped on like 3 times. It was totally next level.
Well, you married up, Tony. You're lucky. You're very blessed.
Hey, Bino, tell the story about you and me on the Garden State Parkway doing the show live with the Comrex unit that works in the car and makes it sound like we're in studio. What you told Laura, the caller, the drivers passing us must have thought, because this is really funny.
People in the other lane would look at us. We were both wearing headsets, and I'm sure they were thinking, boy, there's 2 brainiacs. They think they're flying a plane.
Picture that. Me and Bino in headsets and these people just looking at us. Plus Bino's driving and he's all over the road. And at one point I go to correct Bino's call, and it's one of the few times Bino has used the F word with me, W. Lynn. He was not happy with me correcting his driving.
Listen, W. Lynn, Tony drives like an absolute imbecile, and he drove all the way up there. And then I took over for one day and was going around a curve a little faster than he thought I should. And he jumps on me, and I just told him, hey, shut the hell up. You drive like my daddy and ride like my mother.
What a great line. God. Tony, when I've been driving and something startling or terrifying happens, when my daughter was growing up in the car, that was the only time the F word ever came out. And I had to apologize. It just happens on the road. I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. But
I tell you how I know I'm too old to still be on here. You told Tony you called him when he was on I-81, and I was trying to figure out when he was ever on a station called I-81.
Bino, that's not funny. Now, come on, guys. We're taking liberties.
Hey, let me hit on Danny White. I read that article, Tony, by Adam Sparks right before you mentioned it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just thinking, the top 24 in the Directors' Cup, when we're always in the damn top 10 or top 15. And I just want everybody to know, the 100,000 people, when you go to that first game, that first home game, $2 of your ticket is going straight into Danny White's pocket because we finished in the top 24 in the All Sports Trophy. $2 right off the bat.
W. or Lynn, that is great food for thought. It's a great way to start the weekend. I hope you have a Doc Godone. You're the man. Thank you, brother.
Go USA.
USA, USA, USA. As they used to scream at Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik when Ayatollah Blasi would say, "Now please rise and respect the singing of the Soviet national anthem." And all the illiterates in attendance would scream, USA, 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 Bino. So stupid. All right, Monday, I want you to put your thinking caps on. Monday begins 4th of July week. We're going to have some fun in honor of this Chaz Coleman story. That is one of the greatest weird stories. I want us to go down memory lane. I want you to search the deep recesses of your Tennessee mind. I want you to come up with some real doozies. Bino and Brian, that's your homework assignment. 2 doozies. I'll bring a couple doozies. We've had so many doozies and dozies down through the years. Thank you, Bino. Any final thoughts for us on the way out?
Yeah, Tony, congratulations to your niece and her husband. Glad you and Laura are up there safe, and enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Can't wait. Love you. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend, guys and gals. Appreciate you. And Lil Chaz, good luck in your rap career. Peace.